As you know, they say protect yourself at all times.
That's right.
Those are the final words usually of the referee in the pre-fight talk. Round 4, scheduled for 6. It has been a brawl up to this point. They come out winging once again. Furious exchange. Martire has to get those punches up.
Yeah, there were several low blows on the inside. He met them to the midsection of the solar plexus, but they were below the belt.
And that left by Vieldhouse continues to penetrate. Warning by Frank Cappuccino on John Martire that he was holding.
I think the major factor to any fighter's performance is conditioning. For instance, Vieldhouse started out very fast, and whatever it takes for him to maintain that pace that he started with, he must stay with that particular pace. If not, Martire will realize and capitalize on the idea that Vieldhouse is getting tired.
An impressive run by Martire, and that really rocked Vieldhouse. It sent him back to the ropes.
Well, Vieldhouse being an ex-wrestler, Rocky, they're perhaps the greatest conditioned athletes in the world because they really know how to work out. Although I will admit that it's a different sport entirely, but they do know how to stay in shape.
It certainly speaks for itself, Arthur. He's very tough.
Now Martire, on his behalf, he started off slowly and has come on. And he's holding and hitting. They are exchanging in the center of the ring and both really airing it out.
Martire is a tough opponent for Vieldhouse. He's not backing off. Anything goes with him.
The blood continues to stream from the nose of Kevin Vieldhouse. Doesn't seem to be upsetting him much.
He's positive. Hollywood John is positive in this corner. He says, I'll get him. I'll get him.
Vieldhouse is very consistent. He's trying to maintain that pace that he started out with, and he's doing a very good job. But then again, we can't count Martire out because every opportunity that he gets to land a very heavy shot, he takes advantage of it.
Vieldhouse looking to pour it on, but once again, Martire just holds him up.
Martire doesn't have a bad jab when he throws it, you know. He does drop it after he throws it, but he's got a good stiff jab.
Both fighters 23 years of age. Martire will be 24 in December. Martire is 5'10", Vieldhouse 5'8". Martire weighs 150, Vieldhouse 147 and a half, and Vieldhouse has a 1-inch reach advantage at 71. So round number 4 is passing into the night. It's been an entertaining fight, this battle of welterweight, as Vieldhouse finishes strong. Obono, Kevin Vieldhouse, born in Patterson, New Jersey, makes his home now in Wayne, New Jersey.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's do some eavesdropping.
Kevin, you're dropping the goddamn mouthpiece, Kevin, because you're having your mouth open. You gotta close your mouth.
that.
Yeah.
All right, this is the fifth, Kevin. Okay. I feel.
All right.
Okay.
Kevin, you got to put more pressure on this guy. Okay? He's getting tired. He's getting tired. Put a lot of pressure on him now.
Take deep breaths.
How do you feel?
He's getting tired, Kevin. Keep them hands up. Don't get careless in there. You understand?
Give me your towel.
Okay.
All right, let's go. Fifth round.
Stay in the corner, John.
Well, Martire looks quite fresh as we begin round number 5. Kevin Vieldhouse won that fight over Toronto. We pointed out the last appearance on Superfights. He won that despite a cut eye. Now he's got blood from the nose, and again, doesn't seem to be hampering his style.
What we said earlier is true. Art Cavalier, his second, said in the corner, you're dropping your mouthpiece, you've got your mouth open. He's breathing heavily from his mouth. You could hear him breathing in that corner. He's quite tired.
Rocky, how do you think that might affect Vieldhouse's performance from here on in?
I doubt very seriously what's going to affect his performance. Just the idea of being able to maintain and keep his mouthpiece in his mouth and in position, it won't affect his performance.
Well, I'll tell you what, John Martire went to acting school in New York, but both these guys are troopers in the vernacular of theatrics. Blood all over the chest area of Vieldhouse from his nose. No cuts, no blood as far as Martire is concerned.
Get out yourself.
Martire is riding his chin rather high right now. He's got to be very, very careful because Vieldhouse does come across with pretty good left hooks.
Biggest win for Martire was a common opponent with Vieldhouse. We've mentioned his name before, but in February, Martire scored a majority decision over Tony Corrado.
That must have been a tough fight. They're both tough fellows, Corrado and Martire.
Corrado gave Vieldhouse problems.
Yes, that's true.
I think very much so that this is primarily a typical fight. The boxer who's very consistent, very busy, and the puncher who's all the time looking for that one big punch, and most of the time, the punches that he's looking towards landing are very telegraphical.
That's an excellent point. That's really true. Because Martire is, we knew that during the interviews, that he is a slugger. You see the way he reaches in with that right hand. He throws it at random. He doesn't even know if it's going to land or not.
Well, that's what he said to us at the weigh-in. He calls himself unpredictable. He doesn't know what's going to happen. Anything goes.
But he does have the necessary ingredients to make a future good fighter, really. He's got courage, he's got heart, he doesn't discourage, he keeps coming back in.
And he can take a punch. Pretty good combination there by Vieldhouse, and Martire able to pick it off.
I think you stated earlier, Steve, that Martire looks fresh. And I think he, like you said, he looks fresh enough. But the major factor is, if he's fresh, he's got to get a little more busier. We've got to give him credit where credit is due. He's taking and dishing out a few, but he's got to be a little busier.
And of course, as you pointed out before, Vieldhouse in excellent condition in his own right. As round number 5 winds down. One more to go. John Hollywood Martire will take a seat. Managed and trained by Nick Baffey.
You know what I mean?
Over 50
Stop
years in the
posing.
business.
Go after this guy. Come on now.
You knock him out or you'll lose.
Come on. You got to go out after him. End the body. Keep going. Keep going. How do you feel? Feel great. Good, Bandu. Fight like you're feeling great. Go ahead. You got him. You let him off the hook. Inside, step back and throw the double right.
You did it, right?
That's all. Step back. Nice and rough. Take a deep breath.
Let's get this ice out there, fellas. Last round, John. When the bell rings, come to the center of the ring.
Right. You got to knock him out.
All right. Going in. Nice and steady.
You got to knock him out hard, good hard. Whip
Upper hand right, left uppercut inside. Hey, but if you step back a little bit.
Right.
Well, there's Vieldhouse pressing the attack.
Yeah, he's been pressing for all of these 5 rounds. Now, this is the round where pressing will count because I think Martire mentioned that his second said, you've got to knock him out to win, and that's true.
And here it is, they touch gloves for the 6th and final round. John Martire with Nick Baffey in the corner. They call him the Thin Man. Between he and his brother Joe, they've got about 70 years of boxing experience.
Get off.
And Vieldhouse trying to finish strong.
I think Martire realizes right off the top that this round means everything.
It certainly does in my book, and I'm quite sure. How do you feel? How do you have it right now?
I think that Martire is taking into consideration that if he doesn't seriously hurt Vieldhouse or knock him out, that he can't win.
That's right.
He knows it's up in the air.
That's right.
Vieldhouse trying to remain undefeated. He's 4-0. He has been busy. That heavy right went to the back of the head by Martire. There's a left that got in by Martire. Oh, he is just winding up, loading up, and firing away.
Those are what you call haymakers, Steve. You got to go for broke at this point. And that's definitely what Martire has to do. He has an excellent defense when he wants to.
Yeah, I tell you, he could make a terrific fighter, really. He's got a good left hook, left jab. He's got to do an awful lot of schooling. He needs a little more schooling, and he'll be a good fighter. But if he's going to mix it up with acting, Steve and Rocky, you can't have 2 professions going at the same time.
I couldn't agree with you more, Arthur.
Midway point of round 6. It's the last round.
You stated in the earlier round, Sergeant, that Martire had a very good jab once he utilized it. And, hey, you got a very good point there. Every time he throws that jab, he knows that he's going to land with it, and he definitely does land with it.
Yeah, he puts a little weight behind it, too.
It has been a tight fight right throughout. Vieldhouse came out strong. Martire looked overmatched at first, and then Martire came on, sort of a second win. He looked more relaxed than Vieldhouse. And as you hear Arthur and Rocky pointing out, it looks like Martire needs a knockout for a victory, but it is awfully close.
There goes Vieldhouse with that consistency again. He's trying to maintain that pace, and he's doing a very good job.
I tell you, if you saw both fighters after the fight was over, they concluded, and you didn't see the fight, and you just saw them physically, you would think that Vieldhouse, you know, took a massive beating here, but he's winning the fight.
Exactly. Vieldhouse perpetual motion. And Martire just looking for that knockout punch.
Arthur, you know, I think the statement that you made shows the difference between being slammed by a slugger and being punched consistently by a boxer.
Very good point. It's true.
Get out, get out, get out.
So that's going to do it. The sixth and final round is coming to a close. This battle of welterweights is history. Entertaining bout for the fans here at Harris. And they'll tally up the cards. Harold Letterman, Tony Castellano, and John Stewart are the judges.
Time for these two young men.
Kevin Vieldhouse looking to stay unbeaten and looking to raise his record to 5-0. John Martire trying to go over the 500 mark. He's 3-3 coming in. And they'll tally things up. We'll find out who the winner is. Vieldhouse never seems to have an easy one, at least on Super Fights of the Month. He's appeared on a couple of occasions. His last fight, a split decision over Tony Corrado. In his own words, he said he wasn't happy with the way he fought that one. He was too relaxed and didn't do the things that he wanted to do. He was primarily counter-punching. And he had a pretty good test on his hands here against young John Martire, who goes by the nickname Hollywood. He has a part in a movie called Punishment, as we pointed out earlier in the fight, and that'll be coming out soon in Italy. And of all things, he played a fan at a boxing match sitting ringside. So this time he was in the ring doing his fighting. Ed Darien has the official word in the center of the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by unanimous decision for his 5th straight win in as many pro bouts, Kevin Vieldhouse. Vieldhouse.
So it's Kevin Vieldhouse from Wayne, New Jersey. He's got his fans here. He raises his mark to 5-0 with 1 knockout, and John Martire is now 3-4, and Vieldhouse a winner once again here on Super Fights of the Month.
We're doing another fight.